Do you have a desire to open up your light language, or are you curious to learn more about it? So many people have been opening up their channel and their light language over the last few years, especially since 2020. And I believe this is because the vibration on the planet has been elevating. So many changes are happening. The Great Awakening, we are literally in the midst of it, and so many people's gifts are coming back online. Today, I'm going to share what exactly light language is, how I opened mine, and how you can begin to open or enhance yours as well, and what the benefits are of speaking light language. The way that I like to describe light language in simple terms is a multidimensional form of communication that comes from your heart and soul and bypasses the mind and the ego. It is your uninhibited expression. This can happen vocally, this can happen through movement, through hand movements or mudras, through moving your body. It can happen through drawing, artwork. Most people are familiar with the vocalization of light language, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well as the movement form in this so that you can learn more about it. So, this is a gift that we all have. It is our soul language. And also, some people transmit light language through different energies or beings that they're connected to, their star family, their guides, higher self, source. Essentially, in a nutshell, it is the language of frequency. And it has a lot of benefits that you can use it for. So I want to share a little bit about my experience of opening my channel, things that I did to support me with that, and some things that you can do to open or strengthen your channel. I believe that this is a powerful gift that we all have and have the ability to use and utilize that can support us in a multitude of ways. It can support us in shifting belief systems. It can support us with moving dense energy, releasing dense energy. It can support us in opening our channel to receive. It can support us with communicating with the spirit realm, so much more. My experience happened of opening my light language back in 2020, and it was simultaneously surprising, but also not surprising when it happened because I had an intuitive hit that something was going to come through, that something was going to happen within me. I felt my intuition enhancing, and I also felt my channel strengthened as I was doing videos or talking to clients. I felt when I was tapped in and in flow more than ever, and I started receiving a lot of downloads before it had opened up. I've also very much been into all of this stuff, the spiritual realm and energy from a very young age, from when I was a teenager. So I was very much open to this and actually asking for it because, again, on an intuitive level, I felt like I was meant to bring through something. And maybe you feel like that too. Maybe you have this intuitive hit that your channel is going to open or your intuitions you're going to come online or your gifts are meant to be strengthened. Follow that because it's your soul speaking to you. We all have these gifts. It's not out of the ordinary. It's not, for reserved for certain people, but obviously you do need to be open to it. So in my case, I was open to it. I intuitively felt that something was going to come through. I've always been very intuitive in general. I didn't fully realize that my whole life or own that until later on as I did my own personal and spiritual growth. But during that time when my channel opened, I was ready. And I had actually been asking for it for years in my journal. I've been writing about it, saying, God, please use me as a vessel, as a conduit for the highest frequencies of love, of light, to share a message that will support other people, to elevate the consciousness of the people that come into my realm. And that's one thing that I did before it opened. When it opened, I was um, like I said, simultaneously surprised, but also not. And that's a whole story that I'm not going to get into the whole entire story. I actually have a full podcast episode around it that I will link underneath this video. But essentially, it was a process for me that involved letting go and fully feeling things that were in my body. An example, I felt a lot of grief at the time that it opened, like a lot of grief that was coming to the surface that wasn't fully processed, and ended up doing a beautiful journey, a beautiful plant medicine journey to process all of that grief. And once I fully felt it and surrendered to it and really just let it all happen, I created more space in my body and my vessel to allow in these higher frequencies and to actually open my channel. And this happened multiple times in my experiences when I first received the activations when my channel was opening. It was all around releasing and purging and clearing old energy from myself, from my lineage, and that being able to open the channel and hold more light in my vessel to be able to transmit these frequencies through. Everyone has a different experience of it. Before my vocalization opened, I actually was, I had different hand movements and energy work opening through my body. I used to be a personal trainer, so I have always been into movement. I got into dance several years ago, and one of my go-to practices is dancing and singing, which I believe have really supported me with opening my channel. And the dancing piece was what opened the hand movements and energy movements in that. I could feel that I was moving energy with my hands, and I felt so much better after it. Since the activations happened and once the channel opened, I began understanding some of the information that was coming through during those activations and had a greater understanding of my own multidimensional self and multidimensional gifts and how we can actually shift on a cellular level through sound and through movement and through clearing old energy. So many things I can go on and on about, but essentially, my channel opened. It was a surprise, but not a surprise. It happened initially from being ready, priming myself, doing the work for quite some time, and being willing to lean into the uncomfortable feelings that needed to be felt to move certain energy to be able to open my channel. Obviously, eating healthy and taking care of your vessel in other ways is vital to be able to hold the energy that's wanting to come through you and open your gifts even more. So, some things that I recommend to start or to enhance your channel is opening your throat chakra. I started to just literally tone, sing. I worked with a vocal transformation coach for a while and did different bija mantras, which you can also look up, and started really opening my voice, opening this channel and letting the vibration of my vocal cords free through sound, through singing, through being intentional with it. I also, in the very, very beginning, decided, you know what? I'm just going to make sound. I'm just going to make any sound and I might feel weird and that's okay, but I'm going to just allow myself to go there because our mind is the only thing that stops us. And so I allowed myself to start to make sound and to just go with it. And the more I did that, the better it felt. And actually, later on, those same sounds, the same things that came through when I was just letting myself do it, happened automatically in a plant medicine journey when the full activation happened for me. So, vocalization, open your voice, do something on a regular where you can either tone, hum, do some kind of mantra, like just sing and let yourself fully go with it. Don't hold back. That's going to be really vital with opening your throat chakra and opening your vocal channel. The other thing, like I said before, is dancing and movement. How does your body want to move? So many times we hold back our expression because of fear of what other people will think or because of just holding it in for so long and not like letting loose. You know, something I do a lot is dance in front of my mirror all the time. Something I share a lot with other people too. So when you can allow your body to move freely, however it wants to move, you start to get into this flow state. It's almost like a movement meditation. And when you're in that movement meditation, putting on whatever kind of flowy music you desire, your body can take over if you are open to that and surrender to it and just allow yourself to play with energy, to move energy and see how you feel by moving in certain ways with your body, with the intention to open and enhance your channel. Now, if you've already opened your light language, or if you've already been experimenting with it and um, being intentional with it, I recommend speaking it every day. I speak light language every single day, randomly when I'm cleaning my room, when I'm driving, when I am just I do it all the time. It just happens, it comes, and I get a lot of downloads when I do it as well. Um, but some things you might notice also is if you have recently opened your channel or if you sense it coming, you might even have dreams about it. That actually, forgot to mention, that was one of the first things that happened for me. I started experiencing it in my dreams. I dreamt of someone speaking light language to me in my dream and me doing it to someone else in my dream. And then shortly after, my channel opened. So, anyway, to recap, the vocalization, the movement, intention will support you with opening your channel and also making sure that you are practicing good spiritual hygiene. This means making your vibration your number one priority, making sure that you are calling in the purest frequencies of love, of light, of the highest vibrations, and making sure that you are doing just your own practice to move energy so that you're not in a lower vibration or just like unaware or not present with what you're doing. I believe that it is very important to have discernment and to have good spiritual hygiene, and something that I love to do to support my channel and everything that I bring through is I always visualize a beautiful pearlescent white light from God, source, streaming down through my crown, making its way all the way down my body and out, emanating outwards. So I'm like in this big bubble of white pearlescent, highest frequency light. And from there, I do whatever I'm channeling or moving through. And that's something that I always keep in my mind. It's also the beginning of all of my activations usually involves that. And I can make another video about that as well. So if you are wanting to open or enhance your channel, try some of these things. Try just letting yourself just make sound, letting your body move how it wants, setting the intention. Maybe you want to even journal on it, like how I did. I set the intention, journal on it, did some automatic writing at times as well, and just allowed it to start to come through. And once it did and started to, I started going deeper with the vocal transformation work that I did, and just getting support from other people who speak light language or who support me, which is another thing that is really beneficial. Another cool thing when you open your channel is you can, if you're called to, start to add this to your work and how you support other people, because other people activate other people. You may have heard someone else speak light language, or maybe you do, and you start to get more curious, or yours may be activated shortly after. We can activate each other's light language if we're open and receptive and desire for that to happen. And you can share your light language for other people who may want to receive that transmission of love from your soul to their soul, if that's what you're called to do. I know so many people that have opened their channel or are starting to or desire to, but they're afraid to share it or to show up in it. And I believe that if it's a calling within you to do that, then you're meant to do it. And also, I totally get that it can be scary to do that if, you have the resistance come up, the fears, whatever. But that's another topic for another day. This is about opening your channel and getting acquainted with the language of your soul. So try this out and let me know how you feel. Let me know what shifts for you, if you feel more open when you start to do some of these practices of uninhibited expression. I would also love to hear if you have any questions about light language. Let me know in the comments. I can make other videos on this topic. It's a fun one to talk about and to dive into, and I know a lot of people have questions. And if you want to explore this further or receive monthly activations, I have a really beautiful community called the Vibe Club. And this is where I share monthly tapping activations. We combine EFT tapping and light language to move your energy, to elevate your vibration. There's so many other things inside of the Vibe Club, different mini courses, beautiful community and support as you continue to embody the full magnitude of who you are and share your work, your gifts, your energy with the world. So I will leave a link for that for you below as well so that you could check it out and join us if it feels aligned for you. I love you so much. Hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.